Now what gives this its strength, but now remember, this is not for a swing, it's just for like roses, plants, that sort of thing. But what gives it its strength is the brace. Now this brace that you see, even though it's real decorative, comes from the stock molding. Now my squares that are based on 12 inches, okay, my brace is based on 24 inches, 2 feet. Are you interested in doing a project like this? If you are, let me give you the checklist of tools you'll need. A one-day simple project, so some simple tools. You need a good tape measure. Tape measures for every project have a good one. You need a device that will give you a good 90-degree angle. So a combination square, carpenter square, whatever you have around the house. It's always nice to have a good drill, and because we're working outside, a portable drill. Now I'm going to be using a drill to not only do the screws, but to also drill my pilot holes. In dealing with pressure-treated lumber, always have some safety glasses, and you can use either a circular saw or a jigsaw, and in this case, I'm going to be using a jigsaw to cut my lumber. So much for the tools. Let's get to the project. Now, my arbor is made out of pressure-treated lumber, but for demonstration purposes, I'm just using a white pine. You remember that combination square I showed you? Let me show you how you use it. My squares are based on 12 inch by 12 inch. So what I'm doing is I'm measuring from here across, now these are my horizontals, 12 inches. So I come out 12, make a mark. And by using this tool, you can then take your pencil and mark 4, 5, 6, 8 boards at one time. This cuts down on a lot of tedious measuring. Now my long pieces, they're 8 feet long, and again, 12 inches. So by setting up at the top and just going every 12 inches and making a mark, I can then mark my boards so that I'll know where to put my cross pieces. That's all there is to it. Let's put a couple of them on. Now I have a drill with a drill bit in it, and because you're dealing with 2x2 lumber, you want to do pilot holes. Just to keep the wood from splitting. And also, because you're dealing with a project that is outside, always use a good galvanized screw. You want to stay away from the sheetrock screws that are most commonly used. Well, that looks pretty good. Now all I have to do is duplicate this pattern all the way down, and then we'll go on to the next step of the project. So let me go ahead and finish that up. There, last one. Let me show you this. This is what it looks like. This is one side. All you have to do is make one more like this, and this really didn't take but about half an hour. And you do your top piece the same way, and you can make it the same size or a little bit larger. In my case, I made mine a little larger. Once all the pieces are made, then you go to the braces. Now let me remind you, these braces, this is important. But I don't want to stick up just a stick of wood. I want to put up something that's decorative and pretty. Let me show you how you get that effect. There's my stock lumber, and I'm sure you've heard this before. I have a template. Now this template is made from the same material, and I started with just one piece. I cut out this pattern, and then by taking my pencil after I have my pattern, and then duplicate it onto the piece of wood. You see what's beginning to form? Then if I take this and just turn it upside down, and then draw, trace my template. Now, do you see what's going on? Okay. All you have to do is take a jigsaw and then cut out the little pieces that you do not want. Doug, that's great. How did you make the template? Watch this. Wallpaper border. I went down to my home improvement center, got some pretty wallpaper border, brought it home, and then took some scissors and cut out the pattern that I wanted, using the leaves as a guide. Then I took the paper, glued it onto the board, Bingo, I've got a template. That is all there is to it. Let me cut one of these for you real quick. You see, it is easy, and you can do it. You really can do it. Look over my shoulder. Do you see the neighbors behind me? They also built an arbor, but theirs is the king-size version, whereas mine is designed for plants and little pretty decorative things. The one other thing I would like for you to see is down here at the ground. Because this is pressure-treated lumber and they're just 2x2s, what I did was just dig a few holes in the ground, about 6 inches deep, with my garden tools, just things I have around the house. Set it in place. You don't have to use concrete or anything else. And there you have it. This is a project that you can do in one day. And as far as these flowers go, you know, Lynette likes roses, but by golly, this is my arbor, and that's what I want. I'll see you later.